On that note, let's see if people in the audience have questions. I think this gentleman in the middle there.
I think I know the answer, but I'm not sure. The demonstration scenes, I imagine that those were stock footage from other demonstrations that had nothing to do. They were not extras who were rounded up for this film.
No, no.
Okay.
The film wasn't that high budget.
This is the only the second film in this series that I've seen. And I'm just wondering if you, Lucy, are in all of them.
I told you that they were going to.
We're never sick of you, Lucy.
No, I'm not.
Be in all of them, please. We will screen every one.
Actually, I didn't actually act on a lot of films in Israel, just so you know. It's actually these two and one more. So in all my acting career, and they're both here in the other Israel Film Festival. So no, I'm not.
Although I think just to go back to the initial question, which I think that'd be a good idea. If we could get a film that would hire like 500,000 Israelis and then 250,000 Palestinians to demonstrate for peace, and then just show the politicians that, I think that'd be really helpful. I just
Yeah, I was just going to say I loved you both in both of those movies.
Thank you very much.
It's kind of like watching you grow up. It was really great. You have multiple talents, but I thought this was a wonderful courage, like the courage, the courage of two individuals, because they not only had to buck the community, but they had to buck their loved ones and their sisters, and a brother was killed, and I think it's a very universal film in that sense, in terms of maintaining a dream. Having a dream and maintaining it against everyone who's criticizing you. And that's a very universal kind of human phenomenon that's very important to show.
I have to say that we always were saying that it's this film was aired like a month ago at the same time at Channel 2 and at a Palestinian channel at the same time, at the same hour. It's an educational film, definitely. And I think that this is one of the first films in the Israeli industry that actually ends with a Hollywood ending. Because in Israel, we don't love Hollywood endings. Somebody have to die, somebody has to to be assassinated, somebody have to be escaping from somewhere, anywhere. So this is the first film that actually ends and they lived happily ever after. So for me, it was like a nice thing to see in the film, the Israeli film industry, that not everything should end up in a bad way. We live bad things. We are experiencing bad things. So why should we put all these bad things in movies too, and not dream about a different reality? And I think this is what comforts me, because I saw the movie and I'm always smiling. It's like I'm seeing the movie and I'm smiling and I'm saying, okay, things can be solved if we really want to. And yes, I am naive, I'm sorry. Although
I just want to add that one of the goals in making this film was to have it broadcast, was it to bring festivals like this, but we would love to bring it to every synagogue, church, and mosque all over the place, here and in the region. So if anyone here tonight is interested in organizing a screening in your own community, please come up and see me afterwards. We'd be more than happy to help facilitate that. We have been also doing outreach screenings in the region as well.
So one last question.
Democracy is never always up, and it's not always this way. And as we have found in many, many generations, things happen and change, and it goes dips, and it goes up, and it may go. And so I think if we can get more of this kind of filming and information out to people, we have an information problem. In this country, even now, with all the consolidation of the TVs and the radios and the newspapers, and so that the right, R-I-G-H-T, information gets out to the vast public in this country too. And we all have our problems. I was thinking as I was watching this, and I think it's an extraordinary film, and should get out to the public, the general public, not only the synagogues and the churches and so on. I was thinking of the film I saw upstairs just before this, or here, just before this one, The Druze. Now, the Druze is representative of, a society that has always existed, not only in Israel, but here, everywhere. Every group stays within itself. And as a matter of fact, there are many Jewish families who came apart because one of the children married outside and was yeah, okay. Well, all right, I guess I've laid the framework of what I'm trying to say. The question is, how do we use all of our media, not only the visual media, but the print media, to get the word out far more? And we didn't even know all that much about the thousands of people in Israel who were out in the streets, and it wasn't just cottage cheese.
Do you want to speak to that?
I think that we need to re-educate all journalists all over again. Because as a journalist, and this is my first profession, unfortunately I think that, I agree with you. I think that people here have a lack of information. When I speak here and I give people ideas about, and I speak about Israeli Arabs, I interviewed Clark Wilson a week ago. He was running for the presidency of the United States from the Democratic Party twice. And Wesley Clark, I'm sorry. Wesley Clark, Chair. Wesley, I'm sorry, it's late and it's a long day. Wesley Clark, and I interviewed him. And after the interview, we started talking, and he told me, this is the first time that I speak with an Israeli Arab and I actually meet an Israeli Arab face to face. And I was shocked. I said, this person was running to the presidency of the United States, and he never met an Israeli Arab before. So what is the kind of information that people is he getting? And if he's not getting this information, what are the people in the United States are getting? What are people in Britain are getting? What are people in France are getting? So I think that we need to re-educate all journalists to actually spread the truth and, all kinds of truth, to show different perspectives, to show the different, the various perspectives and societies that we have in Israel, that the Palestinians have. It's not all about terror. It's not all about violence. We have culture. We have movies. We have music. We share a lot of common ideas, and these things are not getting out from, you're seeing only headlines about the renewal of peace negotiations. You're not seeing any headlines about the inside community, about Israeli Arabs, about art, about films. And I think that this is the best stage, one of the best stages to actually show, and it's even your job to spread the rumor outside.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. I mean, speaking also as a journalist, and for the forward, we try and talk about great festivals like this one and other ones, and trying to encourage people to come to the good ones, which this is one, and find out what's going on underneath. Because I think just reading a piece in the New York Times once a week doesn't do it, because they want to tell you just the highlights, and the highlight is Bibi Netanyahu is meeting with this one other person. It's not the real life and culture of what's going on in the ground. It's not what's happening among the people. And and I think a lot of people did cover a lot of different things about the protests, the social justice protests in Israel. But it does require a certain amount of commitment on the part of the journalists to get stuff out there, and the part of the readers to read enough and read various different sources, not just what the two people who are telling you. And it requires people like filmmakers and activists to go out and make the films and the TV programs and write the books that we can then go on and read. Anyway, so I'd like to thank Lena and Lucy for coming along this evening, and Yitzi for bringing on the film, and you all for staying very late on a Saturday night.
There's some information about Search for Common Ground right on the table, so please feel free to look up more about us. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to Dan Friedman and the Forward for
Thank you.
being a part of this festival as well.